7 years after Lamine Yamal marched out into the Camp Nou field with Sergio Ramos next to him, because Lamine Yamal was a mascot. 7 years on from that day, and Lamine and Sergio Ramos reconnected on the football pitch on opposite ends of it, but reconnected nonetheless, metaphorically and literally, as Lamine Yamal's cushioned header looking for Fermin Lopez was turned into his own goal by Sergio Ramos, and that was the goal that gave Barcelona their win against Sevilla, a fragile 1-0 win it was, but a win nonetheless, and it's a win that for now sees Barcelona return to the top of La Liga ahead of, mighty Girona's top of the table clash against Real Madrid to decide who tops La Liga. That's right, Girona and Real Madrid duking it out for top spot. Who would have thought would be here in life? Definitely not me. Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel for those returning subscribers and those enjoying the content as well. And this is going to be my match review for FC Barcelona's, like I said, narrow 1-0 win against Sevilla at Montjuic, which keeps Barcelona's 100% record at home intact, which, it's a lot better than I was expecting Barcelona to go in their new home. I wasn't expecting them to be this, winny in their new home, but hey, it's another win. So, like my usual match reviews go, I'm going to talk about my negatives and positives from this game. Then I will give my team rating and manager rating as well as picking a man of the match. And it goes without saying that at any point, should you so feel inclined to do the usual YouTube things, feel free to hit like and also to hit subscribe or to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Anywho, this game came with a bit of surprises from Xavi Hernandez. It's almost like he's been watching some of my previous reviews for this season so far, because I'd been complaining about him always playing 4 midfielders and, play 3 midfielders and 3 forwards, I've said on several occasions. And I guess Xavi decided, I'll take that a step further today. I'm going to actually play 4 forwards. Of course, Raphinha was playing in a row more or less as an interior, as a midfielder, and it was like, a kind of hybrid role where he occupies that space, but he can also attack that half space out wide that was being shared with Lamine Yamal, who, once again, look, I did a video covering Lamine Yamal and talking about how Barcelona need to protect Lamine by not playing him so much. But I mean, if he's going to keep doing the kind of stuff like he was doing here tonight, and like, he's been doing up until this point, then I don't know if that's going to be possible. Okay, you're making it too hard, Lamine. Calm down. But it was a great performance from him, and a great performance as well from Fermin Lopez, who came in as a substitute for Raphinha, who unfortunately got injured and had to be, shipped out, had to be subbed out of the match because of that injury, hamstring injury. It's never a good kind of injury you want to see, because that's anywhere from like a couple of weeks to a couple of months that Raphinha could be out, and it especially isn't encouraging to see that he was in tears while he was on the bench, and just he couldn't even put his leg in a proper position. He had to keep it stretched out and all of that. So yeah, I guess I'm saying that that's my first negative. Getting into my negative. Yeah, that's unorthodox for my usual, methodology of getting there, but we got there. Injuries once again for FC Barcelona, and worrying injuries at that, because now we've got Frankie, Pedri and Raphinha out, and we're about to get to the meat and potatoes of the Champions League, because we've been struggling to win games in the group stage, and our toughest game of the group stage, FC Porto, is up next on Wednesday night, and we'll have to do that without Raphinha, Pedri or Frankie. So anyway, we'll get there when we get there. Aside from that, my other negative from this performance, I think, has to do with Barcelona's finishing. Now, granted, on the day, both Sevilla and Barca could have probably scored more goals, right? They both had some wasteful finishing going on, but Barcelona in particular, I thought, probably spurned the more clear-cut chances. I mean, I'm thinking about the chance for Fermin after he just came on. I'm also thinking about the chances for both Ferran and Robert Lewandowski, who, could have easily scored Barcelona's second on the day, but just somehow that just wouldn't happen. And oh, did I mention João Felix with that thunderous strike where I really wish he could have just taken a more calm shot there. He really had the goalkeeper beat already. But and speaking of that, did you see that build-up play from João Cancelo? Like, I said it just after his debut for Barca. It was someone that I was very, very excited for the kind of stuff he'd be doing, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Anyhow, we'll move on from those negatives and I'll get into some positives. And I think the first positive I have here has to do with the defense. We kept a clean sheet mostly because of some brilliant interventions that we saw from our defenders, including Jules Koundé when, Sevilla were on a break and Mariano Diaz was basically unmarked behind him, and he was there to be found by Navas, who did try to find him, except for, Jules Koundé making that last-ditch interception. Something we saw a lot from him last season. He's really good at doing that. And it was good to see Barca just, keep another clean sheet. It's been a while, okay? Antwerp was the last clean sheet we kept. It's been pretty messy in between then and there, okay? We've conceded 4 goals, which you don't want to see keep going on, all right? So seeing that Barcelona keeping a clean sheet, that was good. However, if I did have one criticism for our defense, it's that during the build-up, I noticed both Christensen and Jules Koundé were a bit too hesitant to play that long ball over the top of Sevilla's defense, because Sevilla was playing a very high line. They were going the halfway line of the pitch. They were basically camped there, and Raphinha, Felix, and Lamine Yamal all tried to make some very good runs in behind, but for one reason or another, Christensen and Koundé ignored those, opting to instead recycle possession infield, which, with Sevilla pressing Barcelona pretty well during that first half, it led to some turnovers that, gave Sevilla some pretty good chances that they could have scored from, even on another day. 9 times out of 10, probably, they could have punished us from one of those chances. Anywho, let's get into match ratings, right? So let's talk about the team rating. And it was a bit tricky here because, like I said, there were some good performances here defensively and also in midfield. I mean, Raphinha, Gavi, Fermin, Gundogan as well. All these guys were pretty good on the night. And even in the back as well, João Cancelo going forward was pretty good. Koundé and Christensen, the other way, they were pretty solid. Same with Baude. He wasn't really exploited for his going forward so much. And, Ter Stegen, though, didn't really have that much to do. So because of that, I opted for a 6.5 rating here because, I thought it's that middle ground. That's kind of where I want to be. And it's a 6.5 as well for the coach, for Xavi. I mean, very adventurous tactics from him. I'm happy to see that. I hope we see more of the same from him going forward, trying different things, being more experimental, trying to, put the other team on the back foot a lot more and not just clinging to, the tried and tested formula of, say, 4 midfielders. So that was good to see from Xavi Hernandez. Hope to see more of that. And, I'm almost tempted to give him a 7 because we did win at the end of the day, but, 6.5 I think is just about right. Which leaves us with just one more thing, which is picking a man of the match. And this time around, I went with Gavi because, listen, since both Pedri and Frankie have gotten injured, Gavi's responsibilities have basically grown to encompass them as they were being absent. First, he became, more of a Gavi and Pedri type of player on the pitch. And then now with Frankie de Jong on, he's doing Gavi things, he's doing Pedri, and he's doing Frankie de Jong things in addition. What's not to like about that? Honestly speaking, right now, and it's pretty high praise because we're seeing some good football being played by Barcelona players. But right now, I think Gavi is Barcelona's best player. And, come at me if you want to. But yeah, Gavi is my man of the match. And let me know who yours was or, anything else that you might think that's different from what I have said. Aside from that, I thank you all for tuning in. To have a great day and Forza Barça.